Why am I reviewing this? I have got naught nice to say. This is that Mr. Magnet's one, issue 2. The cover is lying to your face. The Flash and Charlotte Witch are not in it. I am already thinking in my mind of reasons to stop this from being torn up. It is terrible. The saving grace, I suppose, is the art by Clayface. He is a good artist, or he became a much better artist after this. And so, first half of the comic isn't even drawn by it is a flashback drawn by a crap artist. I think in Age of Egg, I pointed to this artist as someone who certainly would have been a shoo-in for my defunct artists who are overrated Axe series. This guy is rubbish. Although this stuff, what he does in this issue, it is some of his better work. So we open with this flashback to explain. Well, last issue ended with the reveal that Mr. Magnet's his younger clone from the 90s has returned and is now evil. I have to talk about this character, the stupid clone, and I fucking hate even having to think about it. Right, the backstory is that in the 90s, Martin Quaid took over writing The Excellent Men. He introduced a version of Mr. Magnet, who was suffering from amnesia and was notedly younger. He was a goody bird and he joined The Excellent Men. And the idea was that it was the real Mr. Magnet and he had amnesia and had gotten younger somehow. This was all to the end of Martin Quaid getting himself off and once again pairing Mr. Magnet and Rouge. He put them together in Age of Armageddon. That was his main and maybe only contribution to that story. And then straight away, he found a way to put them together in the main reality. At least that couple isn't in this comic. That might be what saves this from being ripped up at the end. Martin Quaid, he obviously identified with Mr. Magnet for some reason. Mr. Magnet, a character I have constantly described as a bully. Funny thing for Martin Quaid to relate to. Then, after Martin Quaid was gone, they kept this rubbish, goody bird, younger hippie Mr. Magnet around. And then finally, Fabio Nicieza came along several years later and revealed that he was a clone of Mr. Magnet. And the real Mr. Magnet returned. And the clone died in a noble sacrifice to stop the real Mr. Magnet. It was a fitting end to the character, should anyone at all have liked the younger goody bird Mr. Magnet with amnesia. That is how to respectfully get rid of a pile of shit. So then this series brings them back. It brings back this version of Mr. Magnets that nobody cares about, that nobody likes, that nobody was demanding the return of. And it brings him back and decides to make him the bad guy. This character who was defined as being the good to the real Mr. Magnets' bad. Well, the clone is the bad guy now, and the real Mr. Magnets, he is the good. Fucking dire. Like, I hate this character, the clone, fucking shite. But bringing him back and making him evil is even worse. It's like, what is the point? This isn't the character. This isn't the clone from the 90s. I do reckon there's maybe 4 people out there who actually like this stupid clone for some reason. And those 4 people, well, this is shitting all over their favourite character. He just has a complete personality transplant. And it is all in service of this horrid, repetitive thing where they have to validate the real Mr. Magnets. He always has to be an honourable hero. He has to be a good guy. He has to be the misunderstood saviour. And I fucking hate something else on this page. They shit on Cyclist. They say that Cyclist is worse than Mr. Magnets now. And they also belittle the Mr. Magnets, Dr. X paradigm. Fucking garbage. So we get to see the 2 twats fight around, and the ending reveal, which was also shown at the end of issue 1, so it's not even a reveal. There is deformed clones of the other members of the original Brotherhood of Evil Things. Here we see Blob Brevoort. We also see Charlotte Witch. And then that one in the shadows is Mr. Mind. Note, you didn't see the clone of the Flash. Yet, they still put him and Charlotte Witch on the cover. Not even the clone versions of them that have like massive lumps on their heads and melting faces. Just the normal versions. When this came out, I got this because the Flash was on the cover. I thought he would be in it, in a flashback, or maybe Mr. Magnet is having hallucinations of his 2 children or something. We have some proper Raphael the Turtle shite going on with Charlotte Witch's face there. Early on, Clayface, he had a lot of that. This comic is actually, yeah, I can it. I didn't have any real animosity towards the creative team involved. It's just not a good comic. It's got terrible ideas. I do not recommend it, and that is why I have to give it a 7 thumbs up.